Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Random Venom. I'm your host, RavenWood, and welcome back to RavenWood Reads. Excuse me. Today or tonight, for me, is. Let me take a sip of my Coca-Cola. I'm off the rails. For tonight, for me tonight. For you, probably whenever you watch this live. Okay, so with that with that out of the way, let's get on to like talking about what stuff. Let's see, lights, camera, action, yeah, wiggles. Okay, we're good. We're live. Okay, so welcome back to the Random Fandom. I'm your host, RavenWood. No co-host today. Technically speaking, we got a whole lot of co-hosts behind me. My procrastination project. That don't worry, I'll get back to the third part of this video. Don't worry, yay. I'll get to transforming him to his jet mode soon. I like triple changers, but then I realize triple changers can take a bit more of a bit more time of my time to make. Even though I just record myself transforming a figure in front of a camera, or in this case my phone, which I need to get better equipment. But I'm hoping to get to potentially reach 100 subscribers. I'm halfway there, 56. Not just me, and Dominic as well. Me and Dominic are halfway. This channel, right? We're halfway through 100 subscribers. We would like to reach 100 soon, so we could do something special. No Discord channel. No Discord channel just yet, because that seems a little bit early to do that. If we can reach 100 subscribers, that would be neat, because this that means there are 100 people out there, or at least 100 accounts. 100 YouTube accounts. I want to say 100 people, but there are definitely people who have like alternate accounts, just in case of like, oh, what if someone hacks my account, and then everything that is on that account, gets destroyed or wiped clean from the surface of the earth, right? I don't want that to happen to anybody. Then there are like people like who purposely have multiple accounts to like boost a favorite YouTuber. Well, I'm not a favorite YouTuber of anyone at the moment, as far as I know. But that is a goal in mind, not to be someone's favorite YouTuber, but to at least fit at least say 100 people. So, but we don't. But again, we're still like trying to find like what is our thing. What do we do to make a lot of views? What should we keep on doing to make not just make a lot of views, but to focus on, right? As our channel, right? And I do want to do multiple things, right? I don't want to be like one YouTuber that just does Minecraft and nothing but Minecraft, and then Minecraft mods and Minecraft community mods and Minecraft official mods or from the Mojang or whatever. Minecraft, which is better, Java or Bedrock or whatever, right? I don't want to be like a kind of guy that just focuses on one thing, because the title is called Random Fandom, right? And so another thing is I do want to like stream games on here to represent that. Right? I want to represent, not be representative of geekdom and whatnot, and random fandoms. I like these York patties, by the way. They're great. Oh, my grandfather. I almost forgot. My grandfather is in a rehab at the moment. He's doing, from what I've been told, that they made it. My mom and my grandmother had a meeting with the people at rehab, and there's a guy I'm taking care of and everything. So we hired both nurses and sent them into rehab. So that's good. Yeah. Oh, already one like. That puts a smile on the face. Just the smallest amount. Could be one like, 2 likes. Just one like. That tells me that like I'm doing something. Right? I'm doing something that somebody likes, and that's just like, yay. It empowers me. I've seen a whole lot of, like, I feel guilty about like being happy about one like, right? Or I feel guilty about talking about wanting to reach a goal on YouTube of like, 100 subscribers. But like when I watch a whole lot of it, bad, just as bad as I am at this, or maybe whatever. But like, it's not that I want to be popular or anything. Like, I want to be like the big YouTubers or whatnot. I want to have motivation to do this, right? I want to like continue fishing. I'm fishing right now, right? I'm going out fishing, going out to the pond or to the lake or some other source of fish. And I don't care if I get eels. I don't care if I get fish. Or I don't care if I get a boot. Something is something, right? And this is a hobby. YouTubing is always going to be that kind of hobby. You just get, hey, subscribers, yay, people who listen to me, people who are willing to watch my videos, even if they're bad content or good content or whatever. And this is just one like on the Artificer, by the way. Which, speaking of which, this is what this is basically. This is basically not just me getting some sort of views, right? Why not? I am trying to promote this. Okay? Now, I'm not being paid to do this. I want as many people to enjoy this book, right? That's what I like doing. I could have a Magikarp plushie, right? And I'll explain to you, hey, I like talking about Magikarp plushies. I enjoy the Magikarp plushies. They're great. Blah, blah, blah. I explain why this Magikarp plushie is something that I like. What I don't like about this Remarkable plushie. What about this Magikarp plushie? Maybe this is probably just our problem because it's bent. But this is a problem. Yeah, I like to talk about the flaws. the strengths and the weaknesses and the perfections of the magic card blushing, right? I like doing that. I like talking about things, and that's why I want to expand beyond from what I can. I want to expand beyond from Transformers and the be board game. I want to to explore different collections, and that's I'll be talking about the on the shelf playlist soon. Um, I want to do more of what I do. So right. So that's why I did the live streams, right? Of talking about different fandoms. And this week we'll be talking about Jurassic World. So stay tuned for that. We'll be talking about Jurassic World, right? I don't want just to do collections of things, right? I'm talking about plushies and whatnot. Speaking of which, by the way, speaking of plushies, this thought occurred to me. If you go to Celtic Phoenix Productions, it's not in the book. I'm just making sure if he somehow had some sort of reference. The Celtic Phoenix. Okay. If you go to Celtic Phoenix Productions on YouTube, if you go search it, right, onto YouTube. I wish I could do some sort of screen share or something at the moment, but last time I tried to do that, it was with the Puppy Playtime video or live stream video, and that didn't work for some reason. I don't know why. It just didn't work. But anyways, so like I want to promote um, the Artificer, right? Because I like to talk about Artificers, and I'm not being paid to do so. Again, I'm not being paid to sell you, not sell you a blushie, to get you to buy a blushie or whatever. Maybe not buy a plushie, but I appreciate that the plushie as well, or maybe the subject of the plushie, or maybe the subject of the Artificer, right? But that's and I also like to talk to you, read your comments. I want you to do that. That's more that what I want you to do out of anything that I publish here. Comment section. That's the number one thing that I want from this is the comment section. I want to read your comments and maybe write down some of the comments that I really like, and then just read them out loud in the next stream, and then talk about those questions, comments, or whatever from the comment section of the previous video, and start going from there. I like conversations. I really like having a conversation with people, right? So that's what I do. That's why I'm here on YouTube, is because like I want to like start a conversation, say what my opinion is on the matter or the subject, right? What I like, what I don't like, what you like, what you don't like, and just go from there. That's why it's called a random fandom, and this is a different fandom. The Magic card plushies are in a different fandom. Oh, by the way, this just like not just occurred to me, but I want to go back to my topic about that I kind of dropped earlier. I said to go onto his website, or go to not the website, go onto his channel, go onto the Celtic Phoenix channel. He has uploaded a video recently, I think. let me double check. Hold on. Yeah, let me double check. Okay, so he's uploaded a video recently. I might do this if I buy a product from a different YouTuber. I started like reviewing or whatever, or talking about this specific YouTuber, a specific YouTuber that I'm like, oh hey, see this specific YouTuber's thing this thing that I'm talking about, this from this specific YouTuber that they're doing while they are selling on their YouTube channel, right? Oh, okay, yeah. If you go onto the Celtic Phoenix at Celtic Phoenix, right? Um, at Celtic Phoenix at Celtic Phoenix, he has 16.4K subscribers, right? And he's made only 469 yay videos, right? Well, if you go to his channel, there's a Celtic Phoenix store. Um, I don't know how this is displayed on laptops or computers, or definitely not TV screens. I'm not certain how that would work on the TV screen per se. TV monitors or whatever, maybe Xbox, whatever. Oh, let's see. Here's something I almost forgot. Okay, excellent. It says one view, but anyways. Where was I? Okay, so if you go onto his channel, he's opened up a store, and there's like a lot of T-shirts there, and I was like, would it be nice? Now I could be doing this with any other YouTuber out there, right? Which I probably should, but a lot of their stuff, I will think about it. There's some YouTubers I do have in mind, but I do want to like bum, I guess, bum off of Raymond Neal's or Celtic Phoenix's YouTube channel for a bit to do like a little test run kind of thing to review his products, right? I want to buy his products and do a little collection videos off of that, off of his stuff. And while I was talking about the Magic Cart plushie, it just hit me. Why doesn't he have a markable plushie? Of Selfie. Apparently that's the name of the character that's on his YouTube channel. He's undergone 3, maybe 4 or 5. I'm going to go with 5 different versions of Selfie, if that's how you pronounce his name. The little avatar version of him, the little cute little avatar character, that bounces on the screen. It's cool. Hey, I'm a talking head. Ha 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 ha. Right. Well, okay, so you have that, right? I just noticed the one thing that Grimlock and Jaguar have in common is the color palette. Literally, he has they both have like they both have silver or / gray, right, as their main color, right, the predominant color. They both have yellow, and as far as red and blue go, Grimlock's eyes, his eyes are blue, and then he has red on the chest here. So while he does not have a blue neck, right? It's the color palette is basically, if not almost the same. The blue eyes, red, like a red side, red like red, some red stripes. He's got like 1 or 2 red stripes, some red on him, and like gold throughout the rest of the part of the body, and then of course silver. Anyways, that was sorry. Anyways, I noticed he does not have a marketable plushie. Marketable plushie. He does not. I would buy one right now. Of all the merch, then the marketable plushie is what I would buy. In a heartbeat. I wouldn't buy it in a heartbeat. Maybe as soon as I see it, probably. I'll probably hesitate and look at my bank account and savings and all my checking and the money I have and the money I don't have, and weigh my options and the opportunity cost, and I'm like, well, it's a plushie. We have 2 plushies. No, hold on. We have okay. We have a plushie of Yang. Somewhere in this house, we have a plushie of Weiss and Blake. And a plushie of Ruby. We have whatever this creature is. I know it's a Pokemon, but shut up. It's a polyester fiber. I highly doubt that's the name of this creature. It's not. Oh dear. There's no name. Well, we have a plushie of this creature. We almost had a plushie of Godzilla, which is part of the backstory of the headband. Is actually part of the backstory of the headband on my random fandom hat that I have for my character Raven. And we have if we don't, I don't want to include the plushies that we had since we were kids. Those are stuff that we can give away or throw away or sell. I don't know. I don't know why we still have it. We have Magikarp. I almost forgot the Magikarp, right? And there's like a little dinosaur. I don't think yeah. But that's about it. Yeah. There's like more like the stuff. There's like a lot of stuffed animals in this house, but I wouldn't. Now I think about it, would a stuffed animal count as like a plushie? Like, is there a difference? I'm not certain. And you wouldn't call like a character a stuffed animal. Like you would call this probably a stuffed animal. But you wouldn't call Ruby and Yang a stuffed animal. You'll call them a plushie, I guess. Huh. Yeah, so we have a lot of. I'm not the only one that got a lot of plushies, I guess, plush toys from McDonald's. Was I? They still do that, right? I'm not certain, but anyways, okay, so we're at the 25, roughly at the 25-minute mark. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna come back and we're gonna read. Okay, I'm back. Oh, welcome back. All right. Okay. So. Okay. So where was I? Now we're at officially the 25-minute arc. Anyways. Oh yeah. Plushies. Huh. Before I read, I know, but they're like. I just had another thought. You could have. Excuse me. You could have a marketable plushie of Selfie / Guilty Phoenix. But the official name is Selfie. You're gonna have a marketable plushie of Selfie, Tom, the British Ninja, Kaiser, uh, Twilight Garden, Dashi, Fat and Falling. How would you have a marketable plushie? Oh, he's a lobster. um, Another wonderful Judgmental Critter. I almost forgot about them. Her, not her. Sorry. You're gonna have just about a remarkable plushie that's a prominent figure in the Tundra Discord that is in a live stream, I guess, in the whatever. Not in a live stream. You got like team. Okay, so you got Young Kaiser. The current live stream team is like Young Kaiser, Twilight Guardian, Judgmental Critter, and Celtic Phoenix or Selfie, right? Yeah, you got those four, and whoever that's also a part of. Not well, they're not. They have their own separate channels, so they can. I guess like they can also worry about their own marketable plushies or whatever. Maybe they can cut a deal or something. I don't know. I'm not Celtic Phoenix. I'm not in charge of the Phoenix store, the Phoenix production store. He has like a lot of like fixing Ruby stuff there. There will be more in the future. So I'm not a guy that's behind the camera. I'm not any guy that's like behind the desk or anything that's like in any of the production. I just know things from what I've seen and what I've gathered. Right. I'm not part of like any of the sketchy huntsmen. Oh, you could also have marketable plushies of the individual sketchy huntsman if you want to. There's another thing going. Sell, money. Everybody wins. Marketable plushies of your upcoming of his upcoming, not your upcoming, his upcoming show that he wants to do. It's like a Power Rangers show that he wants to do. He can have like hype merch. I think that's what it's called. I call it hype. I'm coining the term hype merch, but I forget what it's called. Where you sell a bunch of stuff, sell a bunch of merchandise before the product's released, and then you get more money. And then, like when people start like, "Oh, I want that product now. I've seen the movie, I've seen the show, or I've read the book. I want the product now. I understand." Haha, right? And when you have that going on, right? Everyone now wants the old products, and then you push out new products. I'm just saying. Whatever happens, you know. Oh, my back. But anyways, let's get right back into this. We're almost at the 30-minute mark. Let's read. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is read back 3 paragraphs. The 3 paragraphs. Yeah, read back 3 paragraphs from the last podcast, and then continue from where we stopped or left off, and then continue from there. Because that way it can kind of sort of catch up. I'm not going to do the whole entire thing where like I explain where we are, how we got here, blah, 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 blah. if we got this far in into the book and into chapter 3, then we're no longer doing the chapter 1 and chapter 2 pick me ups, I guess, or whatever. I'm like, oh hey, if you find out by watching the previous stream or blah 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 blah. I'm not doing that anymore. Okay, I'm not catching you up on the thing anymore. It's not worth it. Not needed. No. Okay, she eyed him wary, but ultimately smiled. That would depend on what the flattery is. Patting him on the shoulder. Ryan backed away. Everything should be as it was. I would urge you to write that letter. But there's time while I tend to the other wounded of the town, and I think bathing is a more pressing concern for you. Kraft looked down at his ruined wardrobe and frowned. He could repair the clothes, but rotting turtles, spoiled eggs, burning tires, ice burned down his spine. Oh, God, the stench! He cried, gripping his nose. Not griping, gripping. I'm going to be smelling this for weeks. Insane? Or there's like a little bar that indicates the scene is ended. or it indicates that he's moving on to a different scene. I heard you sold incredible weapons. Kraft's hand stopped moving, the pen still firmly pressed to his ledger. Where did you hear that? The merchants in Madro. You've stood them. I don't know who's speaking, but I'm gonna go with this kind of this voice. Well, that spread surprisingly fast. He'd seen Ryan off not a month prior, and already someone was asking about his arms. In fact, he called it almost remarkable, considering the week and a half travel time between Madro and Tomalota. And that was a good clip. Then again, he'd become a minor celebrity in the town, so maybe word spread faster than he thought. After all, it wasn't every day wyverns attacked a town. And it was even rarer for someone to exterminate them almost immediately. Kraft glanced at the man, and it was only a glance that told him what he needed. The man was practically a living pillar of stone. Let me lean up closer. There's my face. Stone. I am stone. Skin heavily and so taut with the pull of a muscle, it may have as well been rock beneath. He had cold, blackened eyes and a face painted with scars, and lips were thin and drawn tight. I don't know how they make it. I drawn tight. I don't know how that works. Kraft closed a ledger, and slid into the side. Sighing. The firearms aren't for sale. A thud resonated around the shop. Kraft blinked. Wedged between the man's clenched fist and the shop's counter was a woven sack gorged with coins. Sorry, I was surprised by that. I don't know why. Oh, someone's here. Hello. Hello, Mr. Someone. Let me double check to see if I'm correct. 2 views. Hello. Hello, Mr. View. See ya, bye. Gorged with coins. With the release of the man's hand, the bag's lip fell loose, and a single 7-pointed chalice rolled to the table. A glimpse beyond the pocket revealed the platinum glimmer of even more chalice beyond. Beyond the chalice. Kraft quickly rammed some numbers in his head, and his heart started to beat. That amount of money would set him for life, let alone pay off the materials for a gun. But he breathed and steeled himself, pushing the bag back towards the man. Not for sale. Not for sale. The ground actually shook as another item was hefted to the table. This time, it was a sickly green-yellow slab of stone, about 3 feet in length, 1 foot wide. Oh, excuse me, I'm a bit aghast. 1 foot wide and 1/4 foot thick. A mystery ore, the man said, unrefinable by any forge in the world. But I was told by a ghost in my dreams, you would want it. Kraft stared at the material, giving the man a side eye before running a finger along its crusted surface. He'd never seen it in his life, never touched it, but when the black of his mark met the material, he knew. Uranium, uranium, ba 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 da ba. Uranium, uranium. I don't know the whole entire song. I just know that the uranium's in the song. Uranium. This man had just handed him raw. This meat is raw. Sorry. This man had just handed him raw, unprocessed uranium. Wait, was the ore radioactive? Should he even be touching it? He drew his hand away. You're very adamant, aren't you? Adamant, aren't you? Kraft asked. The man's eyes did not shift. They stared into him. Almost empty, but not quite. Some kind of fire hiding behind the corneas. I tend to go to war. I do not intend to lose. Swallow. Kraft folded his hands. You do realize that I can't just sell these weapons. This world isn't ready for them, not yet. I've only made the one for myself. I have no intent to pass off your work. I need it to do, otherwise would be a waste. Kraft leaned back on a stool, bracing his back against the bar ledge behind him. And if you die, I have faith I won't. If you put a contingency on the weapon, I will not object. An enhancement, exactly. Kraft tilted forward, groaning. He was going to have to call in that favor from Doras, wasn't he? Hopefully the wizard could provide. The ore, the money, the enchantment. I'll throw in an expedited crafting since you seem keen on having this thing soon. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Oh, this is craft. The ore, the money, the enhancement. I'll throw in an expedited crafting since you seem keen on having this thing soon. But how long it takes, how long it'll take soul, mostly take soul? Never heard or used that word. Or not that word, the combination of the two words. Take soul mostly depend on who I can get for enhancing who can I get for enchanting work. It also won't be as advanced as mine. It'll be good, better than anything on the market, but I'm not giving you the keys to the kingdom. Are we in agreement? I don't want the keys to the kingdom. Just kidding. That's not in the book. Excuse me. I don't want the keys to the kingdom. I want it now. I want a gun. Not a gun. Sorry. I want your weapon. Give me a weapon. I want to win this war. What type of war are we talking about? Someone stole my bread. Oh, fuck that. Here's the gun. Here's the weapon. Here's everything you need. No one should have their bread stolen. Such beyond heinous acts. Excuse me. The man was quiet, his eyes closing for seemingly the first time. Then they opened. Deal. Kraft extended his arm and shivered as the man's palm encompassed his fingers entirely. Very impressive. Mildly terrifying. With a firm shake, Kraft pulled his hand free and set about working the new order into his schedule. Tumbleota is a little far out of the way from Madro. Come all this way from me? I'm from the Jotunlands. I'm assuming I pronounced that correctly because from what I've heard from like God, listen to like God of War, and for some reason, like pronouncing words that starts with like a J is actually pronounced with H or W sound. I'm not certain. It could be Jotun lands. Jotun lands. I could be wrong. It could be pronounced Jotun lands, or it could be pronounced Jotun. Y. I'm thinking of Y. Sorry. Or it could be pronounced Jotun lands. Jotun lands. So I don't know. Jotun. You know what? I'm gonna pronounce it how it's read. It's how it's written. Jotun lands. There. JoJo Bizarre Adventure reference. Jotun. Sorry. I'm from the Jotun lands. I want to say this is the JoJo lands now. Dang. All right, anyways. I'm from the Jotun lands. Kraft immediately found his mind racing back to his almanacs and atlases. That's on the other side of the world. Did you come here just for me? No, the man rumbled. Oh, no, the man rumbled, turning towards the door. I've been looking for weapons. Yours is just the most recent shop. Kraft watched as the muscles in the man's back pulled taut while opening the door. Planning on being a one-man army? The man shifted, looking back over his shoulder at Kraft. I have chosen an unwinnable war. No one else will follow me. What in the hell? What in hell are you fighting? Kraft was almost scared to ask. Everything in hell. In Abaddon. In the abyss. Why is there so many spaces there? No, seriously, literally, there's this one sentence. No, this one quote. I'm assuming it's for. We're almost at a stopping point too. I'm assuming it's like it's for the reader to pace themselves to mentally pace themselves as they read it. But like the period up here, there was a moment. No, now up here. Not okay. The problem with that is that over here on page 72, if you have the paperback, by the way, not for sale. Not period, for period, sale, period. Okay, and this is not the first time he's done that. Okay, but for some reason over here, everything in hell, in Abaddon, in the abyss, everything. Right? There's spaces. Why? If there's one thing my literacy comprehension literacy and reading comprehension teacher taught me about, like, when it comes to like writing out sentences and whatnot, he said if you're going to pick a style of how to write, if you're going to pick a specific style how to write sentences to be in a more creative, because like this was a question asked. He said, even though this is not, he said this is not the particular class for creative writing, or not for, well, not for creative writing, but like, I think it was for creative writing. I can't remember. He was teaching us. He was teaching us how to like write college level sentences, which, believe it or not, is not what you learn in high school. He told us whatever you learn in high school, forget about it. That's probably incorrect. That's what he said, right? Because like there's a lot of, because like there's a, because like with that mentality, a lot it unfortunately forces students into a thinking zone that they must write very long sentences, because the way the high school teachers taught us was to like write essays, right? That was the mentality that they were trying to get us to write essays, or how to write essays. However, that's not how we're supposed to write outside of high school. They don't teach us that, or something like that. Now, because now for college level essays or college level writing, they expect us to write like this, but also write outside of college, so that we express that this is how we express to the rest of the world. This is how we consistently write in storytelling, especially, right? Or not just in storytelling, but emails, newsletters, whatever, right? If you want to be expressive with some of your words, now he did explain, not just, okay, he applied this logic to when it comes to like whether or not you want to use commas, semicolons, colons, or whatnot, right? When this is also why I'm also a little bit on semicolons. Oh, and an Oxford comma, right? He said whether you're trying to be creative, like having one word sentences, right? He says, those are fine, because the writers typically do that to or at least nowadays it's been popularized to do that, to trick the mind of the reader, or not necessarily trick the mind of the reader, but to kind of play with the thought process of how a person is speaking, because nowadays that's how we speak now. That's how we speak. We get very theatrical with our we get very theatrical for how we speak now. Like, do that, right? That's what we do. So I can understand it. But so then he says there's two different ways that authors / writers do this, right? Spaces, or one word sentences, right? No matter what you choose to do, otherwise it's going to confuse your audience. So I don't know why. Right here let me get right here with this. I hate this. With this specific sentence, I hope I can get the clarity on that. If not, may I pause the screen when you're rewatching this? There's a lot of breaks in between the words. There's a lot of space bar. Now, okay, so while criticizing this, and I don't mean to be too critical of his work or whatever, I'm not too critical of this story or whatnot, right? And this is probably just a nitpick or whatever. But my best guess, which yes, he did admit that you're going to run into typos or whatever when it comes to editing stories and whatnot. You're, even when you edit any story, right? Or you're going to run into problems. However, my college professor says to prevent that, use a ruler. Use a ruler. To prevent that, use a ruler. Sometimes, even while that, I do believe that even using a ruler, and what I mean by using a ruler, like taking a ruler and then putting it underneath each sentence and read it slowly, right, on the computer screen, of course. Um, he also recommends writing. Well, he he also recommends writing on paper. I guess I think you kind of don't have to. He says, at least I think he said. I think it. But well, it depends on what. It saves time just to do it on the computer first. To do your draft on the computer and then just type it out there because computers are much faster and it saves paper. Blah 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 blah. Right. Etc. Etc. But okay, so I'm assuming, cutting to the chase here, I'm assuming what's happening here is that's a typo. Okay, what's printed here in 74 is a typo, or it's an inconsistency with Celtic Phoenix himself, where he probably had like, oh, this was a great idea. What if I spacebarred it? Like, no, you need to stop doing it. From what my college professor said, if you're going to stick with a system, or if not a system, let's call it a system. If you're going to stick with something, go with it, right? It's like machinery, okay? If it works, don't break it. Don't. If it works, don't try to fix it to only end up breaking it, right? Try. He says, do your best to stay consistent. Don't go, well, what if I. Now, there is an exception. I guess there can be an exception to the rule. Maybe. If I were to have an exception to the rule, like you would try to explain the difference between a specific character versus a different character. But even then, as long as you're trying to express the difference between how one person speaks versus how a different person speaks, then I guess me. Then that could be another. That could be what's happening here. But that maybe he's trying to have like a consistency between the two different characters, between Kraft and this mysterious person. But that's tedious. that is tedious, and that will take up your time. I'll get to the stopping point, and then I have to go and take a 5-minute break. I'm gonna get some water. Okay. The man walked out the door and left another chill down Kraft's spine. Okay, now we're at the stopping point. I know, we took a rant, and then all I had to do left is read one sentence. Okay, I'll be right back. It'll be just a 5-minute break. I'm going to get some water. Hello, everyone. I'm back. Okay. Yeah, I said 5 minutes. I lied. 1 minute, actually. Okay, that looks like about 2 minutes, maybe 3. I don't know. Who cares? I didn't lie, but I might as well have deceived you. Okay, let's see. Where can we also stop at? Oh, it's 10. Huh. Oh, there's another stopping point. Well, we'll either stop there or stop somewhere else. Probably. I don't know. We'll find out where we're going to stop. We may not stop. Who cares? Okay. It's it's called a break action firearm for an obvious reason. Kraft pulled the latch and snapped the shotgun in twain. The two barrels slid into a clean 30-degree angle related to the grip. He lifted 2 metal casings and slotted them into the back of the barrels. You load one of these shells into each barrel. There your ammunition. Then you just slam it closed and you're good to go. To emphasize, he shut the breech and heated the gun. After that, point the nubs at the end of each barrel. It sounds like Celtic. It sounds like Raymond McNeil, which, by the way, you could have used you could have used a pen name. I'm just saying that. I don't know why. Yeah, never mind. But anyways, hold on, I'm hearing some background noise. You probably don't hear it, but I do. I hear noise. I'll be right back. Give me a moment. You could have had it to where like Selfie was was writing this book, not you. Thus the pen name. It was you got the all along. Haha. Anyways, all right. Again, I'm still not comfortable with the background noise. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and officers too. Okay, where was I? Sorry. Okay, so don't worry, there was nothing going on. It was just part of my imagination. After that, point the. Okay, I completely misread that, misinterpreted that. After that, point the knobs at the end of each barrel and point the correct trigger. The front one for the left barrel and the back one for the right. And anything within about 30 to 50 yards gets pulped. Kraft popped the gun back open and pulled the still loaded casings as they popped loose in their seats. When you fire and open the breech, empty casings will be so light they'll jump right out. Collect them if you can. I can reuse the material. This is why I need some sort of office chair. Closing the gun again, he passed it off to the mountain. He passed it off to the mountain of a man who scrutinized the piece. It's not as fast to fire or reload as I could make it. Excuse me. It's not as fast as fire can make it, but it's faster than any muzzle loader on the market. Well, you'll have an edge against just about anyone. The man rolled it around in his hands, getting a feel for its weight, pointing to a switch near the finger guard. Kraft continued to explain. That there is the safety. It prevents the weapon from firing while it's on, so you can keep it loaded without firing it off. It prevents the weapon from firing while it's on, so you can keep it loaded without fear of it going off. Even if you need it to fire, it's just a flip off the switch to make it work as normal. Very convenient, trust me. It's the equivalent of having a sword sheath. That's a very good way of explaining how a gun is used. If only a politician would read this. Okay, sorry, I don't mean to get political. I'm sorry. Okay. We're good. Don't mean to get political here. I'm sorry. Instead, let's get religious. I nearly spilled the water all over the thing. That's the one problem with having water in your electronics is that if you tip it, you spill everything on God's green earth. So that's why I'm going to have it as far as away as over here. I need this place just optimized again. It's just completely optimized. I have it optimized to where I'm not, to where me and Dominic can both fit into the camera, but now I just need it optimized to where I can have not a drink station, but like a drink table or something to the side, so it'll be away from the electronics, so they could just fall on the floor instead. There's a whole lot of floor here. No, there's one wire, but this wire is like protected, well protected. Why? So like if I spill, it's just right there. Oh, okay. Oh. Anyways, where am I? Yeah. Okay. Let me read it. Kraft gestured to the other assorted items on the table. I've included a satchel and a bandolier holster combo, free of charge. That'll hopefully make reloader a smoother process for you. Excuse me. You also get around 250 shells for the weapon. It's going to be pretty heavy, but you look like you're good at it, and it's a fair amount for what you paid me. In fact, if you come back for more ammo, I'll let you buy it. I'll let you buy it at cost. Oh, excuse me. In fact, if you come back for more ammo, I'll let you buy it at cost. And I've got enough profit from you. Every spare casing you bring me will cut the cost too. The man lifted at the bandolier, and he snapped it around his leather tunic before resting the satchel on his shoulders and putting and putting the gun into the holster on his back. He rolled his arms and cracked his neck. Okay, I feel like you're overselling this character. No, I'm afraid. It feels like one of those characters from Resident Evil, probably. We got this very scary guy. He looks like he can break trees by just grabbing it on. There was, by the looks of it. Okay, still 2 degrees. Okay. Oh yeah, I was just checking something. I need something that supports my back. This rocking chair does not do it. I'll have to have something. There's probably a few other chairs somewhere. Like, it's funny. We have a lot of furniture in this house, but not enough of the useful furniture. It's like mostly just decorated stuff that my grandmother's like, oh, I just can't. But that's fine. That's fine. We got variety. At least we have variety. One of that's Mudge's, my great grandmother's furniture. So there's so yeah. It all seems excellent work. I appreciate the bonuses. I take pride in my work. Kraft folded his arms. Whatever you're fighting, I hope it serves you well. You're the first person to get something like that from me. If it works as well as you say, I'll make it worth it, the man hummed. I can get more of that ore for you on my way back to restock. I'd appreciate it, but you've done more than enough, really. The man's heavy footfalls echoed through the room as he stumbled to the door. He turned to Pierce Kraft with those hardened eyes. No, I have not. Well, it's just I haven't yet, but I feel like I have not would have been more impactful for the scene. Like, or I have not yet. Sometimes if you like chunk up the letter, not chunk up letters. Sometimes if you separate some of the more what do you call those words? I forget what word they're called. But sometimes if you like separate those compound words, I forgot. Well, not compound words. Where it's like have not and you say haven't. I forget what they're called. Oh, it doesn't matter. But if you like break up for a specific character, in this case like this, you want them to have to be kind of like you're selling. I wouldn't say you're overselling, but like you're also kind of like not like areas, but you miss out. So you miss other opportunities. Then again, that's another thing. With a lot of writers, they either don't miss a single opportunity, like Tolkien or Chronicles of Narnia, right? In my opinion, it's kind of hard to miss an opportunity with those long stories. Because of this, I want to say this generation, because of this era of, I guess, this era of storytelling, right? They are while it's true that Tolkien borrowed other stories to forge his story, right? He was inspired by other stories, right? To tell his story, right? He was basically of this era of storytelling, right? He's basically the first, I guess, to set up what we have as common or it's hard to explain. Let's not explain. Tolkien set the bar because he read stories and made a new and this not his intention. This was not his intention, but he set a new bar by writing his story, right? The Greeks, they set a bar with tragic stories, but I'm pretty sure stories that they based their no, some of their stories are probably based off like heroes and legends and whatnot. Like you actually have a guy whose name was Hercules or Heracles or whatever, and he may have done so tremendous, wonderful things, right? And then, oh no, tragic backstory or whatever and whatnot, right? But it's like, oh hey, let's like exaggerate his story just a bit, just to make it sound even more tremendous, right? But I'm pretty sure even those stories, not just the stories that are based off like Heracles or Asclepius or whatever, right? Or Cuchulainn, right? I'm pretty sure even their stories are somehow inspired by other stories of the past, I guess. Even fairy tales, Grimm Brothers, right? Or based off, but like nowadays, our generation are based off of stories of Chronicles of Narnia, Star Wars, Tolkien. But we also have to understand that they based their stories off of stories that they read, or that entertained them, right? That inspired them to write their stories. Excuse me. The Marvel stories are based off of other stories. And for some reason, they keep on rewriting those stories. Right? So they basically don't miss opportunities. Well, you could argue that maybe stars, the old stars, the OG stars, may have missed some opportunity in there, probably. You could have probably argued that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle missed a few opportunities with Sherlock Holmes. But again, what I'm trying to say here is they set the bar for their stories. And so when you're inspired, when you have someone who's inspired by those stories, right? Not saying that Killed the Phoenix was inspired by those particular stories. I'm just naming a few. I'm just saying it's kind of hard to expect missed opportunities to be meet. But he did miss a lot of opportunities, not just here, but like throughout the book. You could have like him actually exploring these towns, actually having small mini adventures in these towns. But you didn't. You missed an opportunity. You missed several opportunities, but that's fine. But however, counter to that, with those missed opportunities, you picked up different opportunities here. And that's why I noticed that he's picked up some opportunities here. And some of the opportunities he did not miss. Sorry. That yeah. He but I'm yeah, let's just go with that. Okay, let's reread the sentence we were on. The man's heavy footfalls echoed through the room as he stumped to the door. He turned to pierce Kraft with his hardened eyes. No, I haven't yet. And with that, the man was out of the building. Man knows how to make a dramatic exit. That's a real skill, Kraft mused, kicking off from the bar. A favor down in 2 weeks of effort getting proper enhancements in place were all worth it. Already he had plans to relocate the shop, a prime piece of distance. I feel like it is written well, but like it's also just doesn't exactly. It does. I don't know. It just hurts me. It hurts my brain. I don't know why. It's just there's something about it that's a bit off. Not saying that Guilty. I'm not saying that. I'm so used to saying Guilty Phoenix. It's the author's name is Raymond McNeil. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. With Ray here, I'm not saying he's perfect writer with the perfect editor and the perfect typewriter and everything. I'm just this sentence could have been sentenced differently. I'm just saying. Already he had plans to relocate the shop, a prime piece of real estate. This is where the semicolon should have been placed here. That would have worked. That's where you should put the semicolon. I'm just saying. There, see, this entire series is me ranting about the semicolons, and I want to rant about something else. I rather rant about missed opportunities. God. Phantom is leaving my body because he is also observing this in my mind, right? He's trapped in my brain, right? He wants to come out and like yeah, he's ready. He's He's ready to like start chaos and whatnot. But every time Raven, right, reads a sentence that I don't like, Phantom also disagrees. Like he not disagrees. He also agrees with Ravenwood, right? Me. He also agrees with me. It's like, no, both me and Phantom are just trying to take up the same space all at once, like Dr. Henry Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, trying to occupy the same space all at once. Yeah, and we're just. Ah! I hope I'm not the only person that's noticed this. I'm just hoping that there's someone else who has noticed this. And Omega Beta, Omega, Alpha Omega, Alpha Omega Beta Sin, yeah, a guy in the tundra. I don't know if he's a YouTuber or not. I think he's a writer, or did someone else say he was? Did someone else said they were right? And it doesn't matter. Anyways, great guy. Alpha Omega Beta Sin said that he came across some of the same sentences that he noticed were not worded correctly or grammared correctly or blah 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 blah, right? However, I'm picking up some sentences that he has not noticed. But like, it doesn't bother me. He's already said that he and his editor have missed a few things, and he has said the universal truth that you and an editor are both human and will both miss things. Although I do find it kind of that now I don't know. I'm not certain how many editors for this. Oh boy, I'm gonna drink some water. Which most people, because it's cheaper, you only hire one editor. And that's for like spelling and grammar and punctuation and whatnot. But you also edit yourself. You also have to make sure you edit it first before you hire an editor, right? That's what my college professor has always, he has said every time when there was some sort of question asked about writing a book or something, right? He always says he continuously repeats hire an editor, but always edit your work first. Edit your work first, then hire an editor, and then third time's a charm. No, I'm adding this. Third time's a charm. Reread your work, right? Reread your work. Final. Just make sure there's a final edit, right? Or not a final edit. Just reread your work, and now I'm going to go back and continue repeating what he has said. Use a ruler when you reread your work. And now he suggests that you reread your work per sentence at least twice. At least twice. You reread each sentence at least twice. If you have to, 3 times. 3 times is the golden rule. If you need to save time, twice. But the golden rule, 3 times as nice. And it's important that you don't miss. So they have less me's criticizing this. If you get away from the small, if you get away with the like small, like you use the wrong Sue. It's supposed not so two. Sorry, blah, blah, I don't know. I was going with so or Sue or whatever. Used the wrong two. Like you used two instead of TOO or TO, right? Or TU, maybe. Hey, there are some people who have written TOO and accidentally put TU instead, which that's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But that's where a semicolon could have been. Okay. Anyways. Okay, but like this is just a small issue. Okay. Every chapter so far, right, has at least one small issue. One or two small issues. At least one or two small issues. That's fine, and that's good. It's not like it's riddled with issues. Already had plans to relocate the shop, a prime piece of real estate near the top of the hill with the town border. Of the hill town board. What? Okay. Oh, a prime piece of real estate near the top of the hill. Of the top of the hill, the town. Oh, the town bordered. Okay. This sentence is. It's just horribly written. The entire sentence needs to be reworked. Ooh. Out of all the sentences that I've corrected, right? Lies. Not in this channel. Not I mean in this channel, not in this particular stream. But of all the sentences I've corrected on this channel while reading this book, this one. Okay, there's one that has been admitted as a typo, right? There's been a few that have been misses, right? Where he completely missed the entire word, right? No, but I feel like this one's just really needs a fix, fixing the Artificer. Already he had plans to relocate the shop, a prime piece of real estate near the top of the hill, the town. Okay, so it only hurts to read and think about it, I guess. Real estate on the top of the hill, the town bordered. The top of the hill, comma, the town bordered, which I feel like that would have made it a whole lot better. Again, I need a chair that's as tall as me. Because I want to lean back, but I don't want to lean too back. And then when I do so, I want to go as far as back as the chair goes. And this chair is kind of tiny. This table also needs a height. It needs a height. It needs difference in the height. Anyways, the Artificer by Raven McNeil. Let's continue. Please, I'm trying to read. I'm struggling here. With grand plans for a much larger roof. With grand plans. You should just put a period there, or maybe. The use of a semicolon helps the brain. It's like eating pears, and peaches, and fruits. Go away, antivirus. I don't care about you. It's just like a little pops up and I don't know where I'm. I didn't order this. I didn't ask for this pop up to happen. Okay, this sentence just it needs to be. It just. Ugh. With grand plans for a and storage. Okay, it just needs to be reorganized. It just needs to be this sentence just needs to be reorganized. I'm going to reread it and then just not complain about it. Okay. Already he had plans to relocate the shop. I'm judging it. Then no, don't judge it. Already he had plans to relocate the shop. A prime piece of real estate near the this hurts. Autistic. Continue. A piece of real estate near the top of the hill, town bordered, with grand plans for a much larger floor and storage space. He was going to need it. Rounding the corner into the main section of his workshop, he found most of the room's contents shoved and condensed to one side. The remaining third of space was filled with a heavy, complicated contraption composed of tubes and chambers at the heart. Sorry, at the heart of which sat a single bulky cylinder. Okay, perfect. See, that sentence that worked. Above the contraption sat a long line of wire, from which this sentence also works. From which dangled a string of 5 lights. All I don't know. For some reason, why when my brain sees a good sentence, or a well-written sentence, right? It's like, oh yeah, fine, finally, yeah, back to normalcy. Of which were glowing with a gentle warmth to illuminate the room. No, really, big guy. No, really, big guy. You've done more than you could possibly understand. Break of page 76. We would have gone to that break much faster had I not gone into complete. Everyone take a shower. And when I do take a shower and I think about this, I tell myself to, okay, Thursday, do not, whatever you do, RavenWood, do not complain about sentence structures. Do not complain about several other things, right? There's a reason. There's probably a reason you're not thinking about why, as to if this is good or good, bad, horrible, right? Or somewhere in between. There's probably an explanation that you may be forgetting about, right? That there could be an explanation here, right? Okay, do not complain. It is fine. It is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Wow. I don't listen to myself. Apparently, I don't listen to the shower self. I don't listen to shower RavenWood or Phantom Ravenwood is whoever's in my head speaking to me, like, don't listen, don't listen to this to you to the worries about the sim structures. Ah. A month later. That's really okay. You could have. Maybe I'm so used to read tales about little things like, oh, he decorated the house, sorry, decorate the house, right? You know, I'm so used to the token writing or whatever, the token style of writing, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Precious. Precious. Okay. My I again. Need a chair. I need a chair. A month later, Kraft had his new workshop his new workshop completely operational. The workshop is completely fully operational, Darth Vader. A month later, Kraft had his new workshop completely operational, with the miniature nuclear generator set up. Where was it? Generator set up in the center of the floor space for easy access and safety. Spending a little extra cash, he reinforced the wooden walls with lead poison. I don't know why I said that. He reinforced the wooden walls with lead plating and added an extra layer around the generator's core. Honestly, he didn't quite understand how the machine worked, like most of his creations. You didn't need a semicolon there. You could just use, out of all the places. Okay. Ah. Ah. There. Okay. Just scream. Just scream. All the times he actually uses a semicolon, which is technically a correct use of the semicolon. He doesn't use it when he needed it the most. Instead, that's where you could have put a comma. There should be an animation of the comma fighting the semicolon, right? And it's a duel it's the dual fates moments, right? Excuse me. And it's just an epic battle and of sin structures and whatnot. you got this, you got the comma and the semicolon, and they're just fighting and just battling, and it's brutal. All the periods, all the colons, all the punctuations, all the all the punctuation in the world, the words, the letterings, all of it of what can be found on the page, the numbers and everything, right? All of the symbols that we use for writing, right, are dying left and right, supporting either the comma or the semicolon. I think colon would be on the side. Yeah, colon and semicolon are like Vader and Darth Vader, while you got comma, who's also Luke Skywalker. and he's fighting semicolon, right? And they're just battling, they're just duking it out, right? They're even boxing, right? and everything is dying. Everything is just dead inside. And everything is unaliving left and right. That's new language. I almost forgot. Everything is just in pieces, Lego pieces, studs, whatever, right? And then Captain Comma Picard says, "Fire at will." He finally destroys the giant pillow book. Anyways, moving on. He finally destroys this book, which is the new Death Star, the Borg cube or whatever. I don't know. I don't know where this was going. The letter R saying, I don't know where this is going. Anyways. Honestly, he didn't quite understand how the machine worked. Semicolon. Hey! Hi! It's been a long time, semicolon. How you doing? Bye. Like most of his creations, comma. That's gonna be the rest of the stream here. That's gonna be the rest of this series of just me listening out the period punctuation marks. That's the word I was looking for. Mark, hi Mark. Anyways, it was built for him like most of his creations, it was built for him from his power, comma, schematic and all, period. Thankfully, comma, almost in instruments. I can't do this. I don't hurt myself. Almost interestingly, can't pronounce words. He understood safe operating procedures with it, comma. So he wasn't likely to get some kind of radiation poisoning or suffer a meltdown, comma. But he still went to bed at night, chiding himself for being overeager in creating something he didn't quite understand. Period. He'd shut the thing down and remove the uranium if he could, comma. But every instinct in his bones told him there was no going back. Semicolon. Oh, hi, semicolon. Oh, it's so awkward. He'd have to run it where you could have put a comma there. He had sorry, I have a lot of crude humor that's also going through my mind as well about common semicolon and whatnot. I can't. I need to breathe. Anyways, okay, so set up straight. He had to run it up. He had to run it out to the energy first, and he had to run it out the run it out the energy first. I'm not certain if that's how you speech. The energy first. Where was it? First, and just live with a potential nuclear bomb resting not 40 feet away from where he slept at night until it dried up. Besides that, comma, the new building was wonderful. Period. The entire structure was composed using his power over a series of days. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna stop saying comma and semicolon, unless I actually see semicolon. There. Okay, that's the only thing I'm gonna do about the commas and semicolons. Is I'm only gonna say semicolon from now on, whenever I see it. This is so precious to me. Ow! Again, my back. I'm gonna have to end this soon because I'm my back. There's no. See, if I lean back, I'll be way over here, and there's just. I'll be taking up like a percentage of. I'll only be taking up my screen. Let me. There. No. This is better. This is fine. Besides that, the new building was wonderful. The entire structure was composed using his power over a series of days, exhausting himself to full as he put up a few walls at a time, which was a process that became easier the more he pushed the boundaries of his powers. The layout mirrored his shop in town with the. You don't need a comma there. Huh. You don't need a comma there. You don't need any punctuation there, actually. Yeah, that's weird. The layout mirrored his original shop in town, comma. I don't think you need a comma there. You can. In theory, technically, you could put a comma behind anything, but that would be weird. I mean, technically, you can. I mean, there's no rule against that, comma. I'm not certain if there's a rule for it. That's what I'm saying. So, whatever. It doesn't matter. Well, it kind of matters. It doesn't. Yeah, it's kind of. The layout mirrored his original shop in town with the workspace below and living on. Where is that? Where am I saying? The layout mirrored. So the fear was that it became more boundaries. The layout mirrored the original shop in town with the workspace below and living space above, but now it had more than enough legroom for another dozen years of work. And that's a comma, but that's also where you could have put a semicolon, not a comma. That hurts. Anyways, an expanded cellar for more secured storage. You don't need a comma there. That's the Oxford comma. We found it. It's the missing Oxford comma. Everybody sound the alarm. We found the Oxford comma. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Yeah, we found the Oxford comma. Is there? I just want to see. Okay, so there's 3 views. Okay. So that's interesting. We found the Oxford comma, the comma that's before the and when it's not needed, because that's the British way. I could be wrong here. I will admit that I could be wrong here. Because like sometimes the comma before the and is not needed when you're in a list of things, right? He's not listing things, but from what I think this is the other comma. I was told that you don't need the comma before it. There's two. Okay, we either found the comma, the Oxford comma, or a different comma that we don't use anymore as well. I think that's called the Harvard comma. I'm not certain. I'll have to fact check myself on that one. But regardless, but okay, so from what I'm told, there's two specific commas that you typically don't necessarily need anymore, because one is definitely, you can still technically use them, but for college level, due to the current rules, or what has been defined as the current rules, right? Because even nowadays, people argue and debate about punctuation in grammar. It's a heavy politics there. Like for some reason, grammar and punctuation, when it comes to like the literature organization, whatever, that the people that dictate those sort of rules for our society, right? For people that dictate that, right? Or make the rules for that, for when it comes to teaching college students and also high school students to a degree. It's also their fault that there's a difference between the high school learning and college learning. I don't know why they're silly, but anyways, but this comma, I can't remember if this is the Oxford. The Oxford comma. I don't know if this also counts as the Oxford comma. Regardless, this is one of the two commas, right? Because like there's a comma that goes before the and, right, that you don't necessarily need in this particular situation. From what I remember from college, okay. I probably need to look back into my notes, but again, I don't have my notes anymore. So that's that. You can't look back into your notes if you don't have notes anymore. So that. But what I can do is I could probably do some research, but I don't want to do research about stuff that I already went through the process of learning or tried to learn. That is, I think I do have some sort of notes or something to indicate the knowledge that I've learned. Regardless, I don't know where it is or whatever. But getting back to what I'm trying to say here, what's interesting is that you don't. I think this is not the Harvard. I don't want to call it the Harvard comma because there's a lot of big like colleges, not colleges. I think universities. Whatever. There's like big like I think colleges, right? Anyways, there's like very like top dog. If you graduate here, you're probably going to like a higher position in life, the highest position possible, right? Where it can, but there's a specific comma that's been outdated, but sort of, where it's before the and. There's two before the and commas, and I think this is the exact before the and comma that that my professor referred to as you don't need it anymore. You don't have to put it there. So I'm not upset that he put it there or not. I'm just saying that's interesting that that it's there. This is, I don't think this is the first time he's used it, this particular comment, but it feels like this is the first time he's used it because this is the first time I'm noticing it. I guess maybe I could be wrong. This is probably not the first time he's used it, but regardless, the reason why I mentioned that is because the wonderful things he does. Sorry, the reason why I mentioned that is because you've got the same rule applies to this as well. If you're going to use an outdated comma, right, rule, you got to be consistent with it. It's the same rule that applies to the weird sentence structures. You know, if you want to get creative with like a sentence structure or whatever, you got to be consistent with it. So if you want to use the specific like way of like transitioning, you got to be consistent with that transition, right? How you transition to another segment of the story instead of saying a month later or moments later or time has passed or whatever. If you want to stay consistent with that, if you want to be consistent with like how everything about writing is just basically being consistent. Just try to be consistent so you don't throw away the reader off, right? And also try to make fewer mistakes so that the brain here doesn't get confused, doesn't get. Now, some people just read things and just don't notice anything at all, right? They don't get confused about what is being read, unless there is an actual typo, like he completed, omitted an entire word, or two to three entire words that were omitted, and thus making the reader confused. But anyway, let's continue. Let's reread that sentence again. The layout mirrors his original shop in town, with the workplace below and living space above, but now he had more than enough legroom for another dozen years of work. Semicolon. This is actually technically where you could put the semicolon or put and here. Or something. The semicolon instead of a comma. And expanded, because this does not work right here. An expanded cellar for more secure storage, or the colon. Believe it or not, you could potentially put a colon here. This is actually one of those rare instances where you're not making a list of things, but you could have put, well, actually, you technically are making a list of things, but you're making a list of things that has been expanded or not expended upon, that is being utilized or whatever. It doesn't matter to describe the house, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you could have used a colon here. Actually, the rare instances of using a colon have been found. Oh no! We're now into the colon, the body. We've now finally encountered Emperor Palpatine of punctuation marks. Not entered. We had now found. We discovered. He's the Emperor. He's the Sith Lord. Okay. You know what's funny is that like semicolon is like one of the most useful punctuation marks that isn't a comma, right? because people are tired of looking at commas. You don't want to look at a comma. It's just disgusting, right? You see that all the time. So you have the option between the colon and the semicolon. It's like a semi-truck. Ow. I don't know why they're called semi-trucks. They're kind of like full. I don't know. It's so weird, man. We call semi-trucks, but we also have semicircles, and that's half of a circle. But a semi-truck is not even half of a truck. It's a full-on truck. And then the actual truck that we can purchase is smaller. It doesn't make sense. Whatever, man. Whatever. Okay, so where am I? This is what happens when I get distracted. This is exactly what happens when I get distracted by sentences. See, good punctuation will not get your viewers or your readers, will not get your readers distracted. There. And an expanded cellar or for more secure storage, and he could actually make his hovel a home. The best part was taking advantage of the nuclear reactor. If he was going to live with his brash stupidity, he might as well reap the benefits, and he'd be. Actually, I'm not certain if that's a needed comma or not. The comma before the end there. Anyways, and he'd been living off by lamplight and candlelight far too long. Sconces and light fixtures peppered the living quarters and workspaces, and the windows were made out of auto-polarizing glass. Best of all, though, this is the use. This is a neat use of this structure. Best of all, though, even though it's incorrect, but for playful writing here, it's correct. Best of all, comma, though, comma, was having a computer again. Because, like, it's expressing the thoughts of the character. But here's the problem. This is in the mind of the narrator. So, I'll give you like a small -1 point there. The negative point is like a plus, but there's also a minus. It's like it's a win-lose. You got a nice written sentence, and it's purposely written this way because like it's like a playful, creative way. But the problem with all these playful and creative sentences is that either there's a narrator that is somehow is somehow telling us, like he's somehow watching this about writing, somehow knowing his thoughts or whatever about blaming Kai. I didn't forget about the Kai. Either this is somehow the perspective of someone else, right? The narrator, right? I don't know how that would play into if that does turn out to be true, right? Anyways, what I'm trying to say here. So this would work better, in my opinion, if drink some water. if this was written in the perspective of Kraft and not some other person's perspective. But then the thing is, who's the narrator? So like, there's no narrator. There's, it's just it's omnipresent. It's Raymond McNeil. I mean, I guess you could explain that, like, oh, but this is the personality of Raymond McNeil telling the story. So, like, okay, fine. It's whatever. I'm not gonna complain too long about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking a bunch of air. I mean, maybe I'm speaking out of. One second, this has been bothering me. Okay, magic carpet. It looks like you're gasping with your fin up like that. There you go. Now it looks like you're hugging Rexy. Anyway, let me. There. Now it looks like they're buddies. It just bothered me how it looks like his hand was like this. His flipper was like this. Now I just put it to where his flipper is like the other way around. Anyways, let's continue. Okay, I'm just making sure, because like some of these, sometimes the pages feel like it's thicker, and like, am I holding 2 pages or 1? Okay, so what time is it? Okay, we're going to continue reading for just a little bit longer. We can make it a 3-hour do, probably, maybe. We might read for 3 hours, probably. Who knows? Well, now we'll stop soon. Maybe he was going a little overboard, but if there was one creature comfort he missed the most, it was the simplicity brought by modern computation. Though he did have the presence of mind not to make it too advanced. He took the precaution to leave the computer squarely in the late 80s and early 90s era, which added a layer of difficulty to its use. All the same, having his schedule and logbook digitalized was a lifesaver. I actually find this is actually kind of funny. He's totally out of place in this world. But then again, we don't know what this world is. So, I mean, we get a small clue of like Blue's Clues that they have these sconces and there's a wizard. There's a wizard, Harry. Hey, you're a wizard, Harry. There's a wizard, Harry. Not you. There's a wizard, right? And on the cover here it shows like, oh, it's like village. It's not medieval, actually. I wouldn't say it's more like happy evil. No, it's not high evil. It's like high evil ish, serene like place. A little Hobbiton here there. Yeah, a little Hobbiton. So look a little. It's a nice, cozy era. Anyways. Ow! I do need a much more straighten up back. All the same, having his schedule and unlockable digital lives was a lifesaver, and all for relatively cheap considering silicone could be siphoned from inexpensive sand and dirt. The only concern he had was when he eventually upgraded into something more akin to what he had on Earth. Simical. A proper use for simical. But although this could also have been a proper use for a colon, let's read and find out. The temptation to sit around and game all day would still be there. Okay. Ah, yes. Semicolon. There. There it is. That's the proper use of it. I'm amazed. Crawling under the skin, even after so many years apart, the itch was there. Maybe it would be for the best if he didn't upgrade and just left it as it is. It would be easier to explain. People, namely Dorios, were already just starting to ask what kind of spells and enchantments he'd used on his home. And he had to continually bite his tongue to explain the mundane origins of his devices. He'd been careful with the can of worms, but now he was so eager to have electricity, the lid would barely stay on. Oh no. You have to explain the Nikola Tesla. But barely was still enough. Most people went along the merry way, and the more inquisitive minds were stated with the vague descriptions of what was happening. And that was how things carried on for about 2 months. No, 2 months. Traffic through Tombalota increased. Outsiders needing fantastical repairs became more commonplace, and there's a comment before the end, but I think this is the needed comma. So again, I could be wrong. I'll admit to that. Tombalota, where am I? Increased. Outsiders needing fantastical repairs became more commonplace, and his ability to use the tato grew in both endurance. The tato. The tattoo. The tattoo. Yeah. Okay. The arm glows tattoo thing. The ability to use the tattoo grew in both endurance and ingenuity. Sorry. Water. I'm out. I'm all out of water. I'm all out of water. I'll get water here. More water here. I want to continue reading. Ingenuity. Things were even improving for Nief and Tief. The duo had been settled with the farm long before Kraft had came along, and, I'm not certain if you do that. Can you? I don't know. That's one thing I don't know. Because, like, you could technically get away with this type of this is sorcery. The comma after the and. Can you do that? Can you get away with that? That's murder. Okay, no. It's a. I don't think you need an and, do you? Huh. No, you kind of do, but like that's not. You don't pause there, do you? I mean, like, no, hold on. I'm trying to study this because, like, there's technically, I think there's probably a better way to write this, but again, and yes, And yes, you can rewrite this with a but however, you can also avoid using the semicolon, but also rewrite this with the comma, but not after nor before the and. And you can also get rid of it. But I am not certain how, I'm not 100% certain uh, how I could possibly go about this at the moment. Because A, I'm thinking about getting some more water, and B, I'm also thinking about just continuing reading. The duo had been settled with the farm long before Kraft had come along. Actually, right there, come along, comma, thanks to Kraft's generous capex of equipment and improvements, comma, one of them could, you don't need the end. This is one of those situations where you don't need the end. One of them could easily tend to the 6 acre lot of their own. You don't need the and. You do need the comma, but you don't need the and. And that is actually an interesting. That is something I do remember specifically about how to write these type of sentences. But you know, it's not. You're not in trouble. You're good. You're fine. You're good. I see. This is why I need a plushy selfie. Is that how? If that's how you pronounce the little guy, the little Celtic Phoenix character. See, this is why so I can pet. Good job. Good. You did good. Right? That kind of sort of thing. Anyways, I do want to see. Speaking of other YouTubers, I also want to like promote on this channel, I guess, like kind of just pat on the back. Like, yeah, right? There's also read Oxhorn's books because he's also written a few stories of his own. But this was back when he was in college, I think, is what he had said. Not certain. But anyways, I do want to read some of his books, so I'll see if I can find any of his books online and then purchase them and then read them. Well, I had to add them to the list and then read them. But there's also I need to go back to the FNAF book that I need to go back to the FNAF book, yeah, to read the other short stories there. Will I continue reading other FNAF books? Probably. It depends on where they go or where they come back or whatever. I do want to continue reading them. I make good thumbnails. But anyways, continue. Let's just continue. Okay, where was it? Okay, let's see. Yeah, the death. I don't know. This left the others plenty of time to explore the other avenues, and it did. Crafts, and it did. Period. That's where you need a period. Okay. You should have hired me as an editor. Although I was not in for the ride, so I'm not. I was. Doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Time to explore. And it did. Well, maybe if I continue reading the sentence, it would explain why he didn't put a period there. And it did. Craft's heart will. When. And it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you could still argue, put a period there, but it's fine. It's neither here or there. Craft's heart well, and it did Craft's heart well when he received a wedding invitation from Nierf himself. Okay. Yeah, I'm 50-50 on that sentence structure. Like it could have technically, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. I don't care really. From Nierf himself, Safiri had finally bent to Nierf's many advances, giving the poor dwarf a more than passing shot at courtship, and the two were allegedly very smitten with each other by the end of the first month. Okay, so I know this would probably make the book a little bit more longer, but again, another missed opportunity to explore more of the side characters here, and so that the readers can be more smitten with your book, more engaged with the story here. I am engaged, but like I'm not. I feel like I'm not latched onto. I'm not like, oh yeah, oh goody, yippee. I'm not saying you need to I'm not saying that you need to explore the situation here, the between Sophia, Sophia, Sophie. So I want to say Sophiri, but I'm not certain if that's how you pronounce it. Sophie. I think it's Sophie. I want to say Sophiri. So I'm going to say Sophiri. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to say Sophia. I kind of care. Damn it. Sophiri or Safari had finally been to many advances, given the poor dwarf. There's so many spaces here. Probably a typo. I'm gonna see that's easier to spot as a typo. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get some more. Let me spin them over the end of each month. Okay, so I'm gonna pause there. I'm gonna get something I'm gonna get some more water. Okay. Hello, I'm back. One second, I'm just trying to see something here real quick. Okay, sorry. Take a break, not take a break. I'm gonna have to find a stopping point, and then we're gonna have to end it here. Unfortunately, I want to continue reading, but we finally gotten to another stopping point. we need to get to something because it's starting to get late. Again, I could probably go as long as I want, but I can't. I mustn't. I shan't. I shall not. Allegedly. Huh. Anyways. Okay, now I'm just wondering about something that was in the back of my mind. Anyways, allegedly, because all Kraft had to confirm this were Nerv's gushings and the signed invite. But he trusted the stalking man with his life, so there was little need to doubt his words, though there probably was some exaggeration. It would have been the highlight of the next month and a half, honestly, had it not been for a more unique encounter later that week. Autumn was beginning to thin, and winter stalked into the mountains with a howl, which left this particular night shouldered with a thick coat of snow. It was only 4 minutes past midnight. Man, it was such a relief not having to wind up clocks. I feel like that's a reference to something. I feel like it's a reference to modern life. I'm not going to say. That might have to do with politics or something. Like daylight saving times and whatnot. And his probably stance on whether or not we should get rid of it or not. I'm not too interested on that. I'm not. I don't know if that's a heated topic. Do people get heated over whether or not we should or should not have daylight savings time? Is there like a left wing, right wing, like hot seat for that specific topic, or has it always just been like is it like an awkward topic to like talk to like a bunch of politicians in a room like, oh hey, when will you change daylight savings time? When will you do that? Right? It's no longer the wars. We're no longer in World War One and Two. Change it now. Okay. But so I don't know if that's like a real political hot spot. So I'm not gonna debate about it. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm not too keen. I don't know anything about that. But anyways, I'm gonna continue. When there was a knock on the shop's door, frantic and rough. That was a was when it was only 4 minutes past midnight. Oh, okay. This is kind of why I like stuff in parentheses. I kind of like it. It's like a kind of love-hate scenario because like, not because like, because it's just, I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, man. Okay. It's just distracting because like it has a separate thought. But it feels like the separate thought is a joke or something like that. But I feel like you could have gotten away with the joke had you actually had the character say about that. I guess maybe he's speaking to himself or something. I don't know. Never mind. Mind me not. It's just kind of distracting me. That's all. It's just a little. I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking just nonsense. That's all. It doesn't shiny on. Okay, it was only 4 minutes past midnight, skipping parentheses, when there was a knock at the shop's door, frantic and rough. Kraft bolted on a stool, his projection fading. With his free, you could have said, "Man, you could have put it right here in this paragraph." He said to himself, "Oh, man, I'm glad that I don't have to wind clocks." Whatever. With his free time easier to come by, he had taken it upon himself to actually study the mark. With his projection fading, with his free time easier to come by, he had taken upon himself to actually study the mark and what it could produce, learning the ins and outs of the schematics presented to him and making a record of what might be useful to keep in mind should he lose the gift. Life had already screwed him over once for complacency, and he wasn't looking that gift or lesson horse in the mouth. I don't know. All the same, it was irritating to be startled out of his studies. In school, he was always one of the weaker students. The material never really came to him naturally, and it took plenty of effort for him to just stay in his family's good graces. Distractions in the middle of that study time were incredibly frustrating, especially once he had finally found a comfortable groove. I need to make that doorbell sign a little larger. No one ever rings it. He grumbled, wobbling to his feet. Exiting, excuse me, exiting to the front desk of the building, he tried to peer through the windows to see who was outside, but was only met with the vaguest hints of a shadow. Sliding open a wall panel next to the door, he rested his hand on the repeater, fingers tapping at the receiver idly while his other hand went to the doorknob. Opening it, he was confused to find no one there. Or at least so he thought, until he caught a different shade of white whipping around a silhouette. A shade of white that was surprisingly familiar. Ryan? Kraft's eyes adjusted to the darkness as the light from his shop spilled outside. Ruby eyes glinted in its warmth, beset by fear but tinged with hope. Hello, Mr. Kraft? The girl chittered, her entire body convulsing against the wind. May I come in? Kraft stepped aside, sliding his wall panel closed as he did. Probably wouldn't need his shotgun. Probably. Ryan wasn't harmless, and even if she lied to him before, she'd never been violent when she clearly could have been. He trusted her. At least enough not to take a stab at him. By all means, I'll get a fire going for you in the parlor. The woman stepped inside with her arms pulled to her torso beneath her woolly shawl. Her frame shuddered the minute it met the warmth air of the shop. Ah, by Mother Teresa's grace, you must have already have quite a hearth going. Why light another? No, that's a trick of the trade. The whole building is warmed evenly. I've seen to that. You, I think, need something a little more direct. Kraft hummed, leaving her boots and travel pack by the door. He guided her to the stairs that rose to his living quarters. Courtesy at the front of his mind, he moved to the plushiest chair he owed next to the fireplace and draped its matching blanket over her shoulders. With a little extra effort, the fireplace stacked with wood and lit. And that is where we will take a break before this part of the story gets any interesting. I'm not saying it's not interesting. I'm saying this part of the story. Before we get to the thick of it, I guess one could say. All right, well, that will do it. Well, likewise, I'm not gonna overstay my exit, my outro. That's the end of the stream. That's the end of the story. Not the end of the story. I feel like we're nearing, probably, maybe, by the looks of it. Let me take a look real quick. There's a lot of mini breaks in between. We're in the Thundersty snare. We're almost done with this chapter. Wow. I'm actually impressed. We're almost done with this chapter. So we'll probably have to... Yeah, we'll probably have to push even further for the next... we'll probably have to push further for the next live stream. For the next stream, we'll probably push on... Push onward. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Hopefully we'll push onward and finish the chapter. And then so that way that I can produce the next thumbnail for the book. Yay! So yeah, that's that we'll stop right there. Please remember to, if you want to join the Discord to the Tundra that I keep talking about, go to Celtic Phoenix's Patreon and subscribe for $1 or more on his Patreon. And so, and until then, we meet again. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share this stream if you want to share. hit the bell notification on your way out. Don't forget to hit the doorknob, the bell. Don't for, don't forget to hit the doorknob. Door. Not the doorknob. But what's it called? He said it. Doorbell. Don't forget to hit the doorbell. Yeah, not hit the doorbell. Don't forget to ring the doorbell in this case. Don't forget to ring the bell that's above so you get notified. Comment down below what you like about this reading of this, the reading of this chapter so far. What are your thoughts? What do you think will happen next? Why is she here? Who is that mysterious person that practically not bought a shotgun, but bought a new version or another friend to craft him a gun or whatever, a shotgun. Friend to craft him a shotgun. Yeah. Comment down what you like about this. Comment down below about my obsession about commas and other punctuation. Again, share, like, subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the bell to be notified. I think I covered my bases. Just want to check. Yeah, okay. Oh, and yeah, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully I won't forget. Not that I forgot. It's just again still not 100% motivated to get to it and get it done. To get the video published as well. But yeah, anyways, see you soon in either the next video or the next live stream, which eventually will do the Jurassic World live stream. Where we talked about where we left off. Unfortunately, the thunder and lightning cut ourselves off from the last live stream. We didn't get to finish. We were going to we were finishing up. We were wrapping up, but we didn't get to finish where we left off. But that's okay. We don't. We'll definitely pick up with Jurassic World and whatnot. And if we do remember where we left off, we're not rewatching that. No, well, we might rewatch it or whatever. It depends, whatever. Well, you'll find out. You'll find out that the next live stream will be about the Jurassic World live stream. So we'll do that. I'll get onto the Astro Train video. You'll see that soon. That'll be published soon. And that's all. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, share, hit the bell notification. And that should be all. Yeah, stay tuned. Don't forget to tip your hat. Bye-bye.